You didn't plan to be here. You didn't search for this. And yet, somehow, you found it. In a world full of noise, endless scrolling, and millions of distractions, you landed on this one quiet message. Maybe it feels random. Maybe a small part of you is already wondering if it's more than that. Deep down, there's a part of you searching for answers, for meaning, for a sign that all the struggles, the doubts, the questions swirling inside you are not for nothing. Life has a strange way of speaking to us when we stop expecting it. And sometimes it speaks the loudest through what seems like pure accident. What if this moment wasn't a mistake? What if the very fact that you are hearing these words right now means you are standing at the edge of a deeper understanding about yourself, your journey, your purpose? Today, you'll discover why the paths you never meant to take often lead to the truths you were always meant to find. Stay with me until the end. There's something here that your soul has been waiting to hear, something that just might change how you see everything from this moment forward. Synchronicity is a strange and beautiful thing. It's when two events, seemingly unrelated, collide in a way that feels too perfect to be random. A thought crossing the mind, and then a song playing that matches it exactly, a name echoing inside, and then a message arriving from the very person it belongs to. It's those tiny, quiet moments where life seems to wink at you, letting you know there's something more happening beneath the surface. Carl Jung, the great thinker who gave a name to this phenomenon, believed that synchronicities are not accidents. They are meaningful connections, signals from something deeper that words often fail to explain. They are life's way of reaching through the ordinary and tapping you on the shoulder, not with loud signs, not with flashing lights, but with small, undeniable moments that stir something inside. They awaken a part of you that knows there's a reason, even if the mind tries to dismiss it. Finding this video today may feel like a small thing, just another click, just another few minutes of passing time. But deep within, something called you here. Maybe it was curiosity, maybe it was a quiet ache you couldn't name, or maybe it was life arranging pieces in the background, weaving threads you can't see yet, bringing you exactly what your heart needs to hear right now. Synchronicities often show up when something is shifting inside, when the old ways of thinking, living, or feeling are no longer enough. When a deeper question begins to rise, asking if there's more to this life than routines and survival. They don't arrive with full explanations. They don't promise easy answers. Instead, they offer a quiet invitation to pay closer attention, to trust that there's meaning even when logic can't explain it. Every major turning point starts with a small moment that didn't seem important at the time. A book falling off a shelf, a conversation overheard by chance, a video stumbled upon at the exact moment it's needed most. Synchronicity is how life whispers, how it lays breadcrumbs on the path, asking if you are willing to follow even when you don't know where it leads. Not everything is a coincidence. Some things are too precise, too personal, too powerful to dismiss. Some things are meant just for you. And maybe, just maybe, this moment is one of them. Some signs are quiet, others are loud. They show up in the middle of a busy day or a restless night when least expected. Numbers start to repeat everywhere you look. 11:11 on the clock, 3:33 on a receipt, 2:22 on a license plate. It doesn't feel random anymore. It feels like something is reaching out, trying to catch your attention without using words. Thinking about someone who hasn't crossed your mind in months, and then out of nowhere they send a message. Hearing a song you deeply connect with, just when you need it most. Feeling a sudden pull to take a different route home, only to find something meaningful waiting for you there. Life speaks in these subtle ways, crafting small, invisible threads that weave through ordinary days, making them extraordinary if noted. Most people miss these signs because they are too busy, too distracted, or too logical to accept that the universe, or whatever force you believe in, might actually be communicating through life itself. When a sign keeps appearing, when the same numbers, symbols, or events repeat, it's not always chance. Sometimes it's a nudge, asking if you're ready to see more than what your eyes are used to seeing. Not every repeated number or coincidence is a grand message. Some are just gentle taps on the window of your awareness, a soft whisper that says, "You are not alone, you are being guided." It's easy to shrug it off, to call it meaningless, but deep inside there's a part of you that recognizes the feeling, a quiet knowing that these patterns hold something more. Not because someone else said so, but because your own heart stirs when they appear. Small signs build over time. They grow louder when you begin to pay attention. Life isn't always about giant moments or massive changes. Sometimes it's about seeing what's already there, hidden in plain sight, waiting for you to notice. The way the right words come at the right time. The way a sudden thought leads you to something that shifts everything. Signs don't shout, they whisper. But once you start to notice them, you'll wonder how you ever lived without hearing their voice. Maybe it starts with numbers. Maybe it starts with coincidences. But it always leads somewhere far deeper. Awareness changes everything. Most of the time, life rushes by so fast that the small signs, the quiet moments, the gentle nudges go unnoticed. Caught between yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's worries, it's easy to miss what is happening right here, right? But when attention shifts fully to this moment, a different world opens up. A world where nothing is random. A world where even the smallest detail can carry meaning if seen with open eyes. Mindfulness is not just sitting still or breathing deeply. It's a way of living. A way of moving through the world with curiosity instead of assumption. With wonder instead of judgment. When the mind slows down enough to really see, life stops being a series of tasks and starts becoming a conversation. Every encounter, every challenge, every sudden twist carries a message. The problem isn't that life doesn't speak. The problem is that few are truly listening. Presence sharpens the senses. Colors seem brighter. Conversations feel deeper. Even silence holds weight. In this space of full attention, the signs that once seemed rare begin to appear everywhere. A phrase overheard at the perfect moment, a chance meeting that stirs something inside, a sudden feeling of peace in the middle of chaos. These are not accidents. These are glimpses of a deeper flow that moves through everything. Maybe finding this video is not just about the topic or the word. Maybe it's about the timing. Maybe it's about where you are mentally, emotionally, spiritually right now. A quiet pull brought you here, even if it didn't make sense at first. And now something deeper inside is stirring, calling you to be more awake, more present, more tuned in to the life unfolding around you. When awareness grows, so does choice. No longer trapped by old habits, old fears, old distractions, a new path begins to open. A path that was always there, hidden just beyond the noise. Being fully present doesn't just help in noticing signs, it helps in living fully, without sleepwalking through the most important parts of existence. Maybe this isn't just about seeing more signs. Maybe this is about seeing yourself more clearly than ever before. And once seen, things can never quite go back to how they were. Something shifts, something begins, something awakens. Life often pushes outward. More achievements, more possessions, more validation from outside sources. But the real journey, the one that changes everything, moves in the opposite direction. Inward, beneath the surface, behind the masks worn every day, there is a space where the real self waits. Not the version shaped by fear, not the version built by expectations, but the core that has always been there, untouched and pure. External events can shake loose what has been buried, a sudden loss, a random meeting, a quiet video stumbled upon at the right moment. These are not just experiences, they are invitations, invitations to turn inward and listen to the parts often ignored, the parts that ache, the parts that hope, the parts that know there is more than what the eyes can see and the mind can explain. Self-reflection is not always easy. It means facing what hurts. It means sitting with questions that have no quick answers. It means being honest about dreams left behind, about fears that still whisper late at night. But within that honest reflection, something powerful stirs. Growth doesn't come from running away. Growth blooms from the willingness to sit still long enough to hear the truth inside. When the outside world feels noisy, chaotic, overwhelming, it's not always a sign to fight harder. Sometimes it's a call to pause, to listen, to reconnect with what truly matters. beyond all the distraction. This inward journey doesn't require special skills. It requires only courage. Courage to meet yourself without judgment. Courage to trust that everything needed is already inside, waiting to be seen, waiting to be remembered. Maybe this very moment, sitting here and listening to these words, is part of that call inward. Maybe life is offering a small, quiet doorway that leads back to the self that was never truly lost, only forgotten. The questions that stir right now, the emotions rising up without warning, are not mistakes. They are signs that something deeper is waking up, not because life outside needs fixing, but because the foundation inside is ready to be strengthened. Growth begins not by changing the world around, but by changing the way the world within is seen and honored. Every step inward brings a deeper peace, a clearer purpose, a stronger light that no outside storm can ever extinguish. The unknown often feels like a heavy fog stretching out in every direction. No clear path, no familiar signs, just the quiet fear of what might be waiting ahead. Many spend their lives trying to avoid it, building routines, stacking up plans, holding on to anything that promises safety. But no matter how tightly security is held onto, uncertainty always finds a way in. Change happens, surprises come, dreams shift, and suddenly the unknown is no longer a distant idea. It's right here, standing face to face. Fighting the unknown only makes it heavier. Clinging to old maps doesn't help when the landscape itself is changing. The real power comes from a different choice, embracing it, opening arms to the uncertainty, even when every part of the mind screams for control, trusting that what cannot be seen might still carry exactly what is needed. Some of life's most beautiful moments rise, not from careful planning, but from surrender, from stepping forward without all the answers, with nothing but hope and a quiet willingness to see what's next. Finding this video today could be part of that surrender. A small step into the unknown that leads to something more. Not everything that shapes a life begins with certainty. Sometimes it begins with a restless feeling, a whisper that says, there's more. Not more to have, but more to experience, more to awaken, more to become. The unknown holds lessons that certainty never can. It stretches the heart, it strengthens the spirit, it teaches flexibility, resilience, and courage. It strips away the illusion of control and invites trust in something bigger, something wiser. Life doesn't ask for perfect faith, it asks for small steps, tiny choices to move forward, even when the road is hidden and the destination is unclear. Fear of the unknown is natural, but it is not the end of the story. Fear can be the beginning of growth, of creativity, of deeper connection to what truly matters. The willingness to face uncertainty opens doors that staying safe could never unlock. Doors to friendships, to new paths, to pieces of the self that were asleep. Maybe, just maybe, stepping into this moment, this mystery, is the first chapter of a story that has been waiting to be written for a very long time. There is a voice inside that speaks before words form. It doesn't argue, it doesn't explain, it simply knows. A gut feeling, a sudden pull, a quiet certainty that rises without needing proof. This is intuition, the silent guide that moves beneath thought, beneath reason, beneath everything that logic tries to build. It is older than fear, older than doubt. It is the raw wisdom carried from every moment life has shaped. Logic has its place. It helps navigate the world, solve problems, build plans, but logic moves slowly. It weighs facts, measures outcomes, demands evidence. Intuition moves fast. It cuts through the noise and points straight toward what matters. Sometimes it's a soft nudge. Sometimes it's a fire that won't be ignored. Often it arrives before the mind even realizes a decision needs to be made. Many people were taught to distrust that inner voice, to push it aside in favor of what is safe, what is known, what makes sense on paper. But life's most important moments rarely come with a checklist. The moments that shape identity, that carve out destiny, often begin with a feeling that can't be explained. A feeling that says, go this way, even when no one else sees the path. Maybe finding this video wasn't a random scroll. Maybe it wasn't boredom or habit. Maybe something deeper stirred, a quiet pull that led here for reasons not yet fully clear. When intuition speaks, it doesn't always explain why right away. It simply points, and trusts that the heart will follow before the mind catches up. The more that quiet voice is honored, the stronger it becomes. At first it might feel like guessing. With time it starts to feel like remember, like coming home to something true and familiar. Doubt may still whisper, trying to lead back to old habits of second-guessing and overthinking. But doubt grows weaker when action is taken based on trust instead of fear. There is wisdom inside that no book can teach. Wisdom that doesn't shout but waits patiently to be heard. When intuition leads, even the unknown feels less threatening. Even uncertainty feels rich with possibilities. Not because every step is clear, but because every step feels true. And in the end, truth is the only real compass needed to find the way. At first, life can seem like a scattered collection of moments, random and disconnected. A missed opportunity here, a painful goodbye there, a sudden change of plans that forced a new direction. It's easy to feel lost inside it all, wondering if any of it holds meaning, or if it's just chaos stitched together by time. But something strange happens when looking back. Pieces start to fit. Events that once felt like pure accidents reveal a hidden pattern. What once seemed pointless starts to show purpose. The wrong turn that led to meeting a person who changed everything. The closed door that pushed a new dream into motion. The failure that stripped away pride and made space for something far more real. With time, the chaos softens and a story begins to form, one that could never have been written with human hands alone. A story crafted by moments of surrender, moments of courage, moments of silent decisions that shaped the future in ways unseen at the time. Finding this video today might not make full sense yet. Maybe it feels small, maybe it feels curious but unimportant. But moments like this often hold more weight than they seem to. A conversation overheard by chance, a line from a book falling open at just the right page, a feeling that won't be ignored, whispering that there's something more. These moments are not interruptions, they are invitations. They are part of the quiet language that life speaks when it wants to show that nothing is wasted. Even the painful chapters, even the lonely seasons, even the detours, have a place in the bigger picture. They teach resilience, they birth wisdom, they break down false walls and build stronger foundations. Each step, no matter how small or confusing, weaves into a larger tapestry that often can only be seen with the eyes of hindsight. Maybe this is one of those small turning points. Maybe a few months from now or years down the road, this moment will stand out like a star in the map of the past, marking the beginning of a deeper journey. Maybe life is aligning threads right now, weaving something beautiful out of everything that once felt broken. And maybe, just maybe, it all begins with the simple choice to keep following the quiet pull forward. Awareness awakens something powerful. It shines a light on paths that once were hidden. It reveals truths that were quietly waiting for the right moment to surface. But awareness alone is only the beginning. Without action, even the deepest realizations can fade back into the noise of daily life. Change doesn't happen just because something is seen more clearly. Change happens when a decision is made to move, to respond, to step into a new way of living. Even if the steps feel small and uncertain at first, the next step doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be a massive leap into the unknown. Often the most life-changing steps are quiet, steady and almost invisible to anyone else. Saying yes to the small voice inside that calls for something more. Choosing to listen a little deeper. Choosing to trust a little more. Choosing to believe that signs are real, that intuition matters, that life is speaking all the time if attention is given to it. Growth begins when thought is turned into movement, not perfect movement, not fearless movement, but simply a choice to not stay stuck. Small actions compound over time. Small choices lead to new habits, new mindsets, new opportunities that would never appear without that first step. Even the tiniest shift can create ripples that reshape an entire life. The real question is not whether signs exist, not whether intuition speaks, not whether meaning can be found in unexpected places. The real question is what will be done with it. Will it be tucked away and forgotten, swallowed by routine once again? Or will it be honored, fed, and allowed to grow into something bigger? There is no right answer that fits everyone. Each journey is personal. Each path is carved by the unique steps taken from this point forward. Maybe today is not about having everything figured out. Maybe it's about saying yes to the journey, even when the destination isn't clear. Saying yes to deeper awareness. Saying yes to the unknown. Saying yes to the small inner shifts that lead to a life filled with greater purpose. deeper connection, and more moments that feel too perfect to ever be called random again. The next step is waiting, just ahead, ready whenever the choice is made to move. Some moments are not accident, some encounters are not random. Life leaves signs along the path, waiting for the ones who are ready to notice. Today might be one of those signs, a gentle nudge towards something deeper, something more true. The questions rising inside are not mistakes, they are invitations to listen closer, to trust the journey, to believe that even the unseen steps are leading somewhere beautiful. The journey doesn't end here, it is only beginning. Every moment of awareness, every spark of intuition, every quiet decision to move forward, creates a new chapter. A chapter built not on fear but on trust, not on control but on openness. Growth is not about getting it perfect, it's about saying yes when life whispers, even when the destination isn't fully clear. If these words stirred something inside, if a part of the heart feels a little more awake than it did before, it's no accident. Stay connected to this journey, keep seeking, keep listening, keep moving forward. Like this video if it spoke to you, and subscribe to our channel to walk this path together. More signs, more insights, and more awakenings are waiting just ahead.